everyone, this is Melissa, and I'm the talkative introvert. In today's episode, if you can't tell by the title, we're doing an introvert dating update episode. If you're new to this podcast, last season, I asked my friend Mia if I can interview her about what it's like to date from an introvert's perspective, especially nowadays. So thanks again for coming back onto the episode, Mia. So glad to have you on the podcast. You've been on here before, and you've done more than just the introvert dating episode. But thanks for coming back to do a follow-up on that episode.
Yeah, it's great to be back, and I look forward to discussing all the details of, how everything went and hopefully help some introverts out there get into dating again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So if you haven't listened to that episode, that's back in season 1, episode 10, and it's just called Introvert Dating with Mia Russell, and she's actually my first guest, and I wanted her to come onto the podcast because for me, I've never done adult dating. I met my now husband in high school, so I never went through that whole thing, and I was just fascinated by it, and I wanted to ask her how that was, and I didn't know anything about the apps, and I feel like nowadays that's kind of just what people do. I mean, I'm sure there's people who still meet each other, right? Like in person. But for the most part, at least, I don't know about you, but a lot of people I know do the apps, and they go through dates through the apps now.
Oh yeah, everyone that I know, I haven't met anybody that hasn't met their significant other outside of an app.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like a church group or something that they go to continuously, like over and over time.
Yeah. I feel like if you're not in college, well, even nowadays, even if you're in college, you're most likely not like on campus right now, right? I think they are, going back to campus, but like during this whole virtual thing, like even like me, like I'm not going back into the office. So it's not like I'm like, if I was single right now, like it's not like I'm talking to someone at work constantly.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can meet my significant other. I mean, I guess you could chat with people, but I don't like just casually chat with people at work unless, you just so happen to have a meeting with them or something.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult now that everything is shut down and, well, everything's opening back up now, but it's still like a whole new world to navigate.
Yeah, because people are typically sticking with their own little clan or their own little group. And then you also have your mask on, so it's hard to like see people and get their, facial reactions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's super hard.
Yeah. So I see why apps are probably the most useful, because then you at least know people are wanting to date and stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing. So some people are there for dating and some people are there for hookups. And some people are there because they think they want to date, but they're just there because they're for hookups. I don't think they understand that they are just looking for hookups. They think that they're looking for dating, but in reality, what they want is just friends with benefits or, someone they can call on a Friday night.
Yeah, they can't commit once it gets real.
Yeah, they don't want anything real. They don't want anything that's going to tie them down or, take up emotional space for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've obviously bumped into a lot of that, and it's really disheartening at first when you start talking to somebody and you like get into the talking stage and then you find out, oh, you're not really what I'm looking for because you're just looking for a booty call or something like that. And then you just have to start all over, and it's really disappointing.
Oh, jeez.
Because you like start investing emotional space into these people, and once you start talking to them and getting to know them, and it's just super annoying to have to start over.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
you just have to be really consistent about trying, otherwise it's not going to work out.
Yeah. They should. I mean, I don't know.
I
Wait, Mia.
think I
Are
talked.
you?
I'm sorry. Hello, hello. Testing one. Can you
What is
do you
that?
think it'd be better on Zoom? Do you want to
Okay.
start over?
Oh, but it sounds good right now.
Okay, you just want to keep going?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me see what my connection looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, I have full bars.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Are you in the ghost room again?
Maybe?
Okay. It's fine. I'm gonna creep myself
Oh,
out
and we
again.
recently found out that the ghost room has mold in it. So, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, we had to rip the carpet out and everything.
Ugh. So you're haunted
Yeah.
and you're getting sick. Perfect.
Right?
Okay. Anyways.
Anyways, so so basically I would talk to like 50 plus people and get one date out of it. And not like
Jesus.
yeah, or like, swipe on 100, talk to 50, get one date, maybe.
That's so exhausting.
Exactly. And that's why it's so hard for introverts, because it's emotionally exhausting, it's physically exhausting, it takes up a lot of time, and it's not necessarily something you want to sit and do for 3 hours at a time, just sitting there swiping and swiping and swiping.
Yeah. Because I don't even like sometimes it takes me forever to text people back. And I know they texted me. It's just that I need energy before, like social energy before
Yeah.
interacting, you know? It's not
Yeah,
like I
it's like
don't like you. It's just it's
some days,
tiring.
yeah, some days you just don't have the spoons for it.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
And if you don't start immediately replying to these people, they think, one, you're not interested, two, you're stuck up, three, you're talking to somebody else. And they just sometimes they get really rude, but it's good to know that they are a rude person, I guess.
Like if they don't have the patience,
Yeah. So
then
sometimes,
next.
yeah, sometimes I would, start talking to them and then wait like a day or two and see what their reaction is, to see if they have patience or not,
Mm-hmm.
or to see, what they're really after, if they're in it for a long haul type thing, or if they're just kind of breezing through the swipes.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all about strategy, I think. It's really personal about how you go about it. Everybody's strategy is going to be different, but like I know I'm a little bit more extroverted than you, so
Mm-hmm.
I had a little bit more of the space in my brain for it, of it occupying time and energy, but it's still very draining.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you listened to that episode, but um, after our introvert dating episode, I wanted to try out like the Friends app to find like new friends, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I've tried that
And
too.
yeah, and that's exhausting too. And then
Yeah.
I did actually meet like only two chicks, and they were cool and everything, but like the upkeep, because we were trying to get to know each other and we were texting each other and we were thinking about like meeting up and all this stuff. And then I was like,
Uh-huh.
and then we like did follow each other on Instagram and stuff. But honestly, it just got so exhausting. And then we didn't always text each other back. And then like
Mhm.
one
It
of
just
my
kind of fell
meetups,
apart.
yeah, it just didn't work out. And then I just stopped following them altogether. I ghosted
Yeah.
them because I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is too
exactly
much
what
work.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets to be too much. And especially if you're talking to a couple people at a time, which happens pretty frequently
Mm-hmm.
because, you're out there, you're searching through person after person. So you're talking to everybody at the same time. You forget about one person or, neglect to check back in on the conversation, and then it just kind of falls apart and you technically ghost them, and so they get
Mm-hmm.
angry if you come back and say like, hey, they'll be like, excuse me, you didn't talk to me for like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's understandable that people get frustrated with it, but
Mm-hmm.
you also have to kind of weed out people depending on what you want. Like I weeded them out by not um, messaging them back right away to see if they had the patience to deal with me,
Yeah.
because sometimes I don't text back right away.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
kind of need to have someone who's okay with that. If
Yeah.
that's just like how you are, you know?
Yeah. So for me, that's what I would do to see if they were like really high maintenance about their conversations and stuff like that.
Oh, God. I'd be so bad at dating.
I think you'd be good. I think you'd be
You think
just
I'd be
fine.
good?
Okay, I think you'd be fine.
Okay.
Just as good as I was.
Yeah, I guess. I just get socially exhausted. I know for sure I get more socially exhausted than you do.
Yeah.
More than a lot of people. I mean, what did I get? 93% introverted or something like that?
Yeah, something crazy high like that.
Yeah,
And
like
mine was like
sometimes,
70%.
yeah, which totally makes sense. Because sometimes I won't text people back for days. One time,
Yeah.
it was really bad. But one time when I graduated college, my niece messaged me on Facebook and congratulated me, like, for graduating.
Uh-huh.
And I think I texted her back 3 months later. And I was like, oh my
Jeez.
God, I totally didn't see this. I'm so sorry. I don't
Uh-huh.
like Facebook.
Uh-huh,
Oh,
sure. The
so
introvert's
funny.
excuse.
Because I also don't like notification dots or whatever they're called, the little.
Oh, the push notifications?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always mark everything as red, or like I don't like when it's just sticking out there. And then, like, how phones, I don't know why I haven't figured this out, but because I think iPhones do this too. But when someone texts you and you haven't read it, it'll keep notifying you that someone texts you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, mine has a setting where it reminds you 2 minutes after that they sent it.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
but other than that, it doesn't remind me.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't turned that off, which is stupid because I should turn it off by now. But I hate that. I'm just like, stop. So I just mark it as red.
I leave mine on because otherwise I will forget about it and
Mm.
I don't get back to people at all.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
not I'm not
I
I'm
get
not good
that.
about it at all. So
Yeah.
I have to leave it on, otherwise I'll never talk to that person.
Yeah. I think that's why I leave it on, to remind myself to make sure I read it and text back. But at the same time, I want to turn it off because I don't
Yeah.
want to read it. I don't want to text
Mhm.
back. Jeez. That's why I wouldn't be good at this. Like, I didn't even like the Friends app, and I only talked to 2 girls.
Honestly, I think it's harder to find friends than it is to find a match
Mm-hmm.
with dating, because with friends that's I don't know. I feel like there's higher requirements,
With
like you need them
friends?
to, I guess, because they've gotta like, I don't know.
I feel like it'd be
I don't know what
higher
I'm saying.
requirements for dating because it's like who you're going to
That's
end up
true.
with. Yeah.
That's true.
I think
I guess,
friends is just more socially exhausting because you're putting all this effort into it for someone who not is not necessarily going to be your like ride or die. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Like, I
Okay.
don't want to put as much emotional, what's the word? Energy, I guess,
Effort,
into,
energy,
yeah,
space. Yeah.
yeah, into finding a friendship over finding a life partner,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say then.
Yeah. There's like a higher capacity for
A life
everything.
partner. Yeah. That's why I don't think I'll do well. Anyways, so that's a little recap from the last episode that we were talking about. So,
Hmm.
okay, so in the last episode we talked about how I don't know anything about dating, but you do, and then adult dating, then dating as an introvert and the dating apps. And we also talked about like how you prepped for dates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, in this episode, it's a little update because if you can't tell, Mia is no longer single.
Yay.
Sorry, Brandon's
And the
sleeping,
crowd
so.
goes wild.
Wow. Does he know that you're doing this episode today?
He knows that I'm doing a podcast, but I didn't mention what it was about.
Okay. Okay.
I think I did a few weeks ago mention that it was about dating and stuff and that I wouldn't be like doing specifics because I don't want to,
Yeah,
put it
expose all
all
the
out there.
personal
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely like if he's not into that and this is also pretty new-ish. Oh, I guess
It's been about
it's not
6 months
yeah,
now.
I guess it's not new anymore. Man, this year's going by so fast.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, six. Oh my God. I was thinking you guys just met, but it's yeah, half a year. Okay. Jeez.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, but before we get to that stuff, in the last introvert dating episode, there was one app that we talked about, and like I wanted to do an update on that. Because we did say, because you said we would try it. You would try it. I'm talking like we're dating, but you would try it. But it's the Anomo app. You remember that one?
Yes. I definitely did try it, but immediately got creeped out. Like got a real bad vibe. And I mean, I interacted with people and asked questions, like how does this work? And people responded and it was basically like it's like
Wait.
blind Facebook.
So before, I guess we for anyone who hasn't listened to that episode, okay. So what is Anomo? Yeah, like
It's supposed to be an introvert dating app, but what it really is like Facebook without the responsibility or culpability of, taking um responsibility for your actions, I guess. It's really bizarre.
because you're
Um
anonymous, right?
yes, because you're anonymous, so you post weird things and people really just let their freak flag fly, and sometimes it's extremely inappropriate. And um it didn't really work as a dating site. There was no matching, there's no swiping. It was just kind of like you're in this giant pool of people that you don't know and you kind of interact with them. It's like
Mm-hmm.
if Facebook added all the friends that there are at once, but you didn't know who was who.
So you don't add people as friends. Everyone just has
No,
a
you're just
free
kind
for
of
all.
there already. Yeah, you're there already.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can post things and you can post your picture if you want, like as your profile picture, but nobody had that really. And the stuff that they would post was generally inappropriate or, sexually based or motivated. And it was just like, this is not what I'm into at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a chat room almost,
Okay. Is
but
it like, can you put your location? Like, are these people in your area, like in, the greater Sacramento region, or is this just like anyone who uses the app?
I'm not sure because it doesn't tell you location on there that I was aware of.
Okay.
Um, I I have no idea. It just told me their age and gender. And there were a lot of men on there, a couple of women maybe, if they were actually women, if they weren't
Mm-hmm.
being catfish. And I just really got creeped out by it because people were so forward and I'm not used to that on the internet, I guess. Just kind of being out there with everything. And it was,
That's crazy.
yeah, it was too much.
Yeah. That kind of goes to show what I feel like. I don't want to say like what the real human mind is like, but in a way, like if there's like no way of it coming back to you, like this is what people would say and people
Yeah,
would
it's
do,
like
like
Lord of
no
the Flies on
consequences.
the internet.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, I didn't like it whatsoever, and I deleted it after like 2 days because I couldn't handle the messages I was getting. I couldn't handle the people who were on it, and it was just like you have to like earn information about people, and when you get invested in somebody, I want to know certain things about them before that, you know?
Hmm.
Like a picture, a name, a location.
Yeah, because I remember when we were looking into it, it looked pretty cool. And like, I remember there was like this whole success story, like a couple did actually find each other and got married. And then I was
Yeah,
like, oh, that's awesome. But yeah, now it just seems like
that's probably the only one that actually happened
yeah,
on there.
it's like the founders.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure this is an introvert dating app created by an extrovert.
Mm.
Like what they think
Hmm.
an extr or introvert would want.
Yeah,
But it's more like, what does a crazy person on the internet want?
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I was so hopeful for it though, because like there is no specific like introvert dating app, you
Yeah,
know? But at the same time, like a lot of like if you do like the MBTI, what's it called? Like what personalities work
the
with your
Meyer-Briggs.
personality? Yeah, the Myers-Briggs
Yeah.
what's it called? Type indicator. Um,
Yeah, something like that.
they always kind of match you with the opposite. Like my not my perfect match, but someone who I do well with is like another as a extrovert isn't like necessarily like an INTJ to an INTJ. It's like an INTJ to like a ESTP or something like that. There's like always an E. So I guess that makes sense
Hmm.
that if it's just introverts only, if that would work, because maybe you need a balance between the two. Like an introvert and extrovert might do well together depending on like their percentage.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, okay, so that's the recap on Anomo. I guess it's a no go.
Jesus, that was pretty good.
I just thought of that. You like that?
I do. I do. I like that.
Oh my goodness. So anyone who is curious from the last episode, don't get Anomo. Apparently it's just
Don't waste your time. The
yeah.
the 2-star rating was accurate, if it was even deserving of that.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I got 2 stars.
Yeah.
Oh man. So bad.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. All right. Well, there's that. Or there's that. Okay. And then but now, so after you deleted Anomo, what apps did you stick to?
I used Bumble a lot. Um,
Okay.
but towards the end, I just got really tired of it because the girl has to make the first move, and I never ever got responses from men. And when I did, it was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not interested." And it's just like, "What do you mean? You swiped on me, right? We both swiped the same way, swipe right. So why are you all of a sudden not interested?" It just didn't make sense to me. And it's probably because a lot of people's strategy on dating apps is just to swipe right on everybody and see what happens.
That's what I
So
feel like people are doing.
Yeah, because if you don't swipe right on everybody, you're swiping right. You just get a less percentage of matches, obviously. And it's just easier to see who your matches are and who you like out of that versus the entire dating pool and swiping left or right and putting energy into that. I also used Plenty of Fish, which I didn't like either, so I pretty much ignored it into non-existence. And then Hinge. Hinge was okay. I met one guy off of Hinge, and it lasted for a little bit, and then things fell apart. But I didn't really like who I was matching with on there. They didn't seem like good fits for me. But I did like its format, like how you can comment on a photo or something and send it to them as a message to get things rolling. Or like it has you answer questions, and then the person who's looking at your profile can also put in their opinion and like send it to you as a message, and it'll like quote it, like what you wrote, what they said, and then it starts a conversation.
Okay.
And what else did I use? Oh yeah, Tinder. I broke down and finally got Tinder because I was so tired of Bumble and everything else that I was using. It was actually probably the easiest one to use because it's kind of more straightforward and mainstream. Everybody knows about Tinder. It's the one that started everything pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like that's what everyone uses too. Like everyone I know that uses the app has Tinder.
Yeah, Tinder or Grindr, and they're both wildly popular.
Yeah.
So that's what I ended up using, and that's where I found my man.
Which is so funny because I did listen back in the last episode, before this episode, just to prep for it.
Yeah.
And you said that you didn't want to use Tinder because it's only for hookups.
Yeah. And that's how desperate I was getting. I was like, there has to be somebody out there that's not on there for a hookup. And I know that I said that. And I was just like, you know what? Let's just give it a go. Why not? I tried a Nomo and that was trash. So I might as well try Tinder.
Yeah.
So I did. And I actually found somebody who wanted a relationship and not a hookup. And we were both interested and everything worked out, obviously.
Was he the only one you went on a date with, or was there other people you found on Tinder who also wanted to be in a relationship?
I did find other people who wanted to be in a relationship on Tinder, but
nice.
when I started talking to them, things didn't really mesh very well. It wasn't like easy to talk to them. Felt like it was being forced a little bit. And then one of them ghosted me. One of them responded out of the blue like 2 months later. And it's just like, okay, well, you're too late. So, or not too late, but just like, didn't respond in a timely manner. Like, I don't have that much patience.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. So the last episode, you were dating two guys, but they didn't work out. And then you found this guy. Was there anyone in between? Any dates in between those guys?
The ones that didn't work out, after that, I kind of gave up for a while and took a break.
Okay.
But then I re-downloaded everything and started over again. But no, I didn't go on any other dates. I just kind of took a break from it and then got right back on the horse and almost immediately found someone.
That's crazy. Maybe you just needed that break, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, I think I just needed that break to like get kind of rejuvenated and back into really caring about it versus just swiping and then being like, maybe, maybe not. Just not really committing to anything.
Okay. Huh. All along, all you needed was that little break.
Well, I mean, I did have a 5-year break of singleness before I started doing this dating
True.
apps business.
That's true.
So I think it was time.
I don't remember if I asked you in the last episode, but why did you want to download? Like what was your moment where like I'm gonna download apps for dating?
I just felt like it was time for me, and honestly, I went through a lot of work with my therapist about, I think everybody should have therapy, to be honest. Everybody's a little bit, extra.
Yeah.
Needs help reining in some emotional energy and figuring things out in life, and a therapist is a great way to do that. That being said, I worked with a therapist for a while before starting the dating routine and, making sure that I was ready for it emotionally, mentally, and I guess spiritually, if you want to go there. I just decided to do it after a while and see what it was like. And I got a lot of encouragement from my therapist to, just see what's out there type thing. And if not for dating, just for friends. And,
okay.
Just look at it like not as you're not meeting up with a potential date, you're meeting up with a potential friend that could potentially lead to being something else.
Okay.
That made it a lot less anxiety inducing for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I mean, if that's what they're into, I like the whole fact that therapists like are a third party, like they're not connected to you in any way.
They will
personally.
definitely call you on your bullshit.
Yeah. They won't yeah. But okay, cool. I don't think I knew that. Or maybe I did. I don't know.
Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
so.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Of course. I just hope that it, helps somebody else maybe get back out there.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if people deal with anxiety and social anxiety. That's another thing why I don't think I'll do well. Because I don't want to say I have pretty bad social anxiety, but it does get kind of bad.
Yeah.
And I don't do well in unfamiliar territory with unfamiliar faces and unfamiliar, I don't know how you do it or how people do it. How do you how do you do it? Because I don't you don't know the person. Maybe you know the place and that's great. I think that's so important that you go to a place that you know and that you feel safe and comfortable. But how do you just go and just meet someone and just have a one-on-one with a complete stranger? That's just, I don't know why that's so mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, personally, I always go to a place that I feel really comfortable at. And I kind of know the bartenders, so I know they have my back. If that's somewhere you can go, or if you have a friend who works at a restaurant and maybe could keep an eye on you guys. I mean, obviously they're at work and they can't do that much, but if there's anything that you can do beforehand to figure out the situation, scope it out, I would definitely recommend doing that. The internet helps me so much, just reading reviews and really figuring out the vibe of a place and then messaging the person a lot beforehand. Like I don't message someone like 2 or 3 times and like, oh, hey, let's meet up. It's like a week or two of talking before any sort of meet up comes up on the table.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So with this new guy, well, he's not new anymore. I guess we established that.
Yeah.
Like how long did you guys talk before you went like and actually saw each other for the first time?
I'm not sure I remember like exactly how long it was, but it was at least a few weeks.
Okay. I mean, which makes sense now,
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, but
Yeah, because we had to find a place that was open. We had to find a place I was comfortable with. I had to be comfortable with going there and meeting somebody alone. And yeah, so it took a while.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. If you're looking for the right person, you go your own speed, and if that doesn't work for them, it doesn't work for them.
And I feel like if this person, like whoever you're talking to, wants a relationship and not a hookup, I think they'd be willing to do like the back and forth chit chat before actually meeting in person, you know?
Yeah.
Because if
to
they're
really
like
put
rushing,
in the footwork.
yeah. Because if they're rushing, then they just want to see you right there and then, and you know.
Yeah, which is great if they want to see you and meet you, but if you're not comfortable right away, or if you haven't like figured out the situation enough yet, that's not going to happen.
So when you talk to the guys like on Tinder or wherever, or I guess Tinder, yeah, because that's the one you like didn't want to do at first because it's just about the booty calls and whatever.
Yeah.
So are you like upfront with these guys? Like, do you
About wanting
like
a relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the first things I would ask, especially on Tinder, you know, like what are you looking for? What are you here for? Because I was there for a relationship, and Tinder, you know, obviously has the reputation for being for hookups and stuff, and obviously I was very entrenched in that idea that it was just for booty calls, hookups, friends with benefits type things.
Well, that's good that you're like upfront about it. I guess that's important on Tinder, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to waste anybody's time. Like I wanted what I wanted, and if they didn't want that, that was fine. I didn't want to start talking to someone and then like a month later be like, oh, by the way, I want a real relationship and not just something physical, and then just waste everybody's time.
Yeah, exactly. I want to like ask you about the date, but I know we said you didn't want to get too into it.
The date was good. We went to the place that I always go to, and I felt comfortable, and we had dinner and like 1 or 2 drinks and walked around a little bit because there was like nothing else to do because of COVID, and just talked the whole time, and the conversation was pretty easy, and you know, lots of laughing and stuff like that, and it went really well. I mean, I got pretty nervous when we were like having the food and everything, because I'm just, when I get nervous, I can't eat. So I didn't eat very much. And I thought it was kind of weird, but he didn't say anything about it, so that was nice.
That's good. Maybe he knows like you're nervous. Yeah. What did you order?
I just got like a pierogi appetizer. So it was like 5 pierogies with onions on top, which, you know, looking back, onions aren't like the ideal thing to eat on a date.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if people are making out on the first date during COVID, but
yeah.
It's not really what I was thinking. But that's a good one, though. Pierogies, because it's... But pierogies is good because it's not like super messy and you can eat it with a fork.
That's exactly what I go for every time, is that can I eat it with a knife and fork? Is it messy? And is there a lot of it? So I don't have to eat all of it.
Because I remember we talked about that. Like
Yeah, I do
dating
get
these.
a very nervous stomach.
Mm-hmm. Does anything else happen when you get nervous? Like, does your body have signs when you're nervous?
I can get nauseous sometimes, but mostly just like sweaty, jittery. I start pacing, or like I have to keep moving or doing something. If I'm just sitting there, it goes out of control. So I go on Facebook or Instagram and just start distracting myself with that.
Okay. Also, for people who are wondering what that sound in the background is, it's not a child screaming, it's a bird.
I'm sorry. My cockatiel goes absolutely bonkers in the morning and just screams its head off. I'm so sorry. I also have 6 dogs, so if they bark, and there's not much I can do about that.
That's literally the issue I have with everyone that gets on the podcast because, yeah, everyone so far who's been on the podcast has some type of animal in their house.
Yeah, sorry about that. 3 birds, 6 dogs. I live on a farm. What's
It's
new?
okay. No, it's all good. I just don't want people like thinking like, are you gonna help that little girl? Because it sounds like my niece screeching or something in the background.
Yeah,
But
it definitely sounds. I'm just lucky it's not the parrot, because she can cry like an actual baby, and she
oh
sounds.
really?
Yeah, she can sound just like an infant.
Oh God.
It's super creepy because she can also talk and like say certain things and laugh. So when you're home alone with her, it gets kind of creepy. Plus,
Ugh.
she hates me, so I can't like hold her or anything. She'll literally
Uh-huh.
lunge at me. This bird cannot fly, but tries to fly at me.
I I am a animal lover. Okay, let's just get
Uh-huh.
that out of the way. But I
But
do not. I do not like birds.
birds from a distance are okay, right? But
Yeah, like, bird watching, great. But
yeah,
I just don't like them up close. I think they're creepy looking. Oh, I don't like looking at pictures of those birds that are like really big, like as big as a human. Like, have you seen those pictures where like someone's standing next to one of those, I don't know, exotic birds or something?
an ostrich, a cassowary, or an emu.
Yeah, like
Uh,
any type
Emus
of
freak
bird.
me out.
Yeah. That's
Emus
like
have like evil eyes. But
yeah, they're
I think
scary.
they're really cool, and they're like very dinosaur like,
Yeah.
but
And
I
that's
wouldn't want
like,
one.
yeah, that's great and dandy from a distance, but I don't want to get close to one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, their talons scare me. They're
Yeah.
like, I
Those are
don't want
birds
to,
that could literally rip you apart.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't like I've also been pooped on before, so I don't
Yeah.
like birds flying above me because like so
Hmm.
I grew up in the Bay Area and um so we were always around seagulls and pigeons.
Ew, those are the worst poops too.
They are. And it's like, God. And I just remember just I was just like on a paddle boat with my brother and we are just enjoying like being on the lake and a
Yeah.
bird pooped on us and that was like just the worst. And I think we were
Yeah.
like 10
Yeah.
or like, I don't remember.
Oh,
Ugh.
bummer.
I just can't. I don't like birds. I don't know. My dad loves birds. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he
If
has a
you,
fake bird in his little niche thing.
oh my gosh. My mom has a
Yeah.
fake rooster that looks so real that some people are like, is that a real rooster in your house? And knowing my mom, probably.
I can do like baby chicks. We had
Yeah,
a,
they're
a
pretty
pet.
cute.
Yeah, we had a pet baby chick in school once. So I can
Yeah,
do
they're not
that.
bad. They're
Yeah.
not bad at all.
But I don't know. Just something about birds, man. They scare me.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry about the bird screaming in the background. He's doing his normal morning routine of screaming his absolute head off.
Is that why you're up early all the time?
No, because I live outside of this house. I usually wake up because the dogs are barking or the roosters are crowing because they start at like 4 in the morning unless there's a full moon, and then they're just going all night long.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They're pretty dumb, so they just see like, oh, bright light in the sky, I must yell.
I also, so the birds wake me up in the morning too. Because I don't know why we have so many birds, and probably because there's just so many trees in our
Yeah.
neighborhood. And they're like chirping their little song, and it's just like, shut up. I know you're birds. Just stop. Stop singing. And then we have the birds that mimic car alarms.
Oh
Have
my
you heard
gosh.
that?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I can't stand it. Brandon likes to his desk is like next to the window, and he likes watching our wildlife, so our squirrels and our birds and like the magpies and stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't stand magpies either.
Yeah.
Because they squawk, because you have all these like pretty little chirps, and then the magpie's like just squawks at you.
Yeah. They like screech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough about birds.
Yeah.
I can't.
Sidebar about our phobias,
Yeah. Anyways, so like, okay, so we were talking about social anxiety, and like this is another reason why I don't think I could do well like seeing strangers, because like I get nauseous too before an event, but I'll get nauseous even before like a family event. And these are people, I've known my whole life.
Yep.
And I get nauseous, and then the one thing I hate the most is I also sweat at social events.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and when I drink alcohol, I get hot. I get that Asian flush.
I get really hot too. I turn into a tomato.
So it's not only am I hot, but I'm also like having anxiety. So I'm like sweating double time.
Yep.
And then because I'm sweating, I feel like people are looking at me, so I sweat more. Oh my God. It's just like a whole trifecta. It's just terrible.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, so if I ever go on a date, it has to be like in the winter, maybe eat outside.
Outside.
Yeah. In the cold.
Yeah.
No alcohol.
Uh-huh.
Oh. But anyways, enough about social anxiety. The whole dating world is this so anxiety inducing. Like I am happy you found someone. Woo!
Yay!
So how's it like now to not be single?
It's nice. It's comfortable. It's very. It's nice. You don't have to like constantly search out for another person all the time and then get rejected, and it's nice to have your person and have them give you affection and give them affection back. It's very rewarding.
So I know that I asked you this because I don't understand it, but how do you know when you go from dating to boyfriend girlfriend status, or relationship status?
With me, I just straight up ask because I don't want to like mess around. I was like, okay, what are we? And I was just like, am I your girlfriend? And he was basically like, do you want to be? And I was like, yes. So that was basically it. And like, I'm very forward about what I want out of a relationship. So that was just another step of what I wanted, to go from dating to being in a relationship.
Okay. I wonder if that's just how it is.
It could be. Some people just kind of slide into it. They just kind of go from one to another, and there's like this understanding that they're together. But I can't have that non-clarity there. I need it to be very clear and to be said out loud.
Yeah. 'Cause it's definitely different from high school, obviously. Because I
Yeah.
feel like in high school, at least for like, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but like in our generation, I just remember people just ask, like there's no
Yeah.
dating, there's no like you kind of already know each other, especially if you guys grew up together and went to the same schools and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And that's it. And then you're done. Bam.
Yeah.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I'm like, as an adult, like, do you make a big deal out of it? Do you ask the person? Is this like prom where you're like, will you be my girlfriend? Kind of situation. And so
Well,
I was like so confused. Like, how does this work?
some people want the fanfare behind it and to be super romantic, and I'm more of a realist. I just want to ask the question. I want to know where we are, and I want it to be very clear because I don't want them to be seeing somebody else if I'm seeing them, and end up getting hurt because it wasn't clear enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like the whole like I know some people love the whole theatrics of it, like they go on a dinner and what am I saying? They go out to dinner and then they like have flowers and like they have gifts
Which
and all
is
this stuff.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
nice.
it's nice to get gifts and flowers and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, I just want to be super clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. So, are you a marriage type person? Like, do you want to get married someday, or is this like you don't care either way?
I mean, obviously, I want to be with somebody for the rest of my life, but whether or not I want to get the government involved is like, it doesn't really matter to me,
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to have a certificate saying, hey, you're legally bound to me in
Uh-huh.
order to be in a relationship for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But then again, having a big party is always fun, and, showing off your love to everybody is nice and a nice gesture of affection too.
Yeah.
So I guess the jury's still out on whether or not I need to be married, but
Yeah. Like you'll leave it up to the guy. If he asks, he asks. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
I think it's something we should talk about for sure, and not just be
Hmm.
like, surprise, do you want to get married? It should be something that's discussed beforehand, and I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not something I'm thinking about 6 months into dating someone, I guess, but we have talked about it a little bit, and,
Yeah.
just to make sure that we're both looking for like a life partner
Uh-huh.
and not just, a this year partner.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think um like especially as an adult, like that's important to talk about.
Yeah.
Like what do you want in life? Because as you kept saying in the last episode, we're not young. Not in our early 20s. Even though
Yeah.
I think we're still young. Like
Yeah.
we
Like, we don't have time to mess
dilly
around as we
dally.
don't have the emotional energy for it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why bother,
Yeah. Like I think my dating profile would be extremely straightforward. Like it would say, like it would outline everything, like what my political affiliation is, what my religion is, no
Hmm.
kids, you
Yeah.
know, like just straightforward, like exactly what I am, like INTJ
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
exactly what I was doing too. I'm like,
It's like a
this is
bulleted
who I
list.
am. Yeah, like, this is what I want, and go.
Yeah. Because I've seen like, seems very robotic, but it's just like gets everything out of the way, Like everything you need to
Yeah.
know is in this bulleted list. And
And
if you want to
everything
get
that's
to know,
important to you.
yeah, exactly.
And, yeah. It's not like extremely romantic or anything, but it's, you gotta put your, like your ground base in for what you want the relationship to be like, and right off the bat, just let them know and be an adult and say, hey, I do or do not want kids. I do or do not want to be married.
Do you mind sharing what you put as your Tinder profile? Like, I don't know how Tinder works. Like, is it just pictures or do you also have a profile?
Honestly, I don't really remember, but I think Tinder is mostly pictures with captions.
Oh, okay.
And I just put, the generic pictures on there, me with my friends doing stuff, or like when I went to see a comedian, and got a picture with him, so that there's a full head to toe body picture, so they know what they're getting into because I am of the larger proportions. So,
Yes. And well, not sorry. I mean like tall, not sorry.
no,
Really
I'm
bad.
tall and I am plus size, so
Okay. I
I
just realized because I didn't mean to call
no,
you
it's
like
okay.
big,
I accept it.
but
And
I'm just very short compared to you. So like,
that's true. When we hug, your face goes straight in my boobs.
it's very comfortable though. So
I'm so glad.
anyways, sorry.
But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I have the generic pictures, face picture, body picture, showing that I'm doing stuff, showing that I love animals, all
Oh,
sorts of
cool.
crap like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I usually put my Myers-Briggs out there because a lot of people know what that is.
What are you again? I forgot.
INFJ, I think. I forgot.
INFJ.
Something like that. Or INTJ. Something.
No, I'm an INTJ. So I
Okay,
think
then
I know we
probably
have an opposite in either one thing or two things. Or not opposite, but like a different letter. So I think maybe you're an INFJ. I don't know. It's in one
maybe.
of our old episodes. Someone remind
Yeah.
us. Oh, that'd be a good episode. Me, you, and Shannon doing a little MBTI up. Anyways, that's a different discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think people are getting into it more too, like the MBTIs, even though it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I do see people use it a lot, and their
Mhm.
Enneagram
Yeah, that one's more confusing to me.
because it's a number. It's just like one
Yeah.
single number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people put like 6, it's like okay,
Like
and
out of 10 or what?
like, yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Myers-Briggs makes a little bit more sense because each letter at least means something.
Hmm.
And you can kind of guess a person a little bit by that letter, sort of.
Exactly.
So is he an extrovert or an introvert?
I would say an extroverted introvert because
Okay.
he's social, but like in an introverted way. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure I really want to say
Okay.
much more about it.
I mean, I get that because I think Brandon isn't, oh, what did you say? An extroverted introvert?
Yeah.
Because he's definitely introverted, as in like he doesn't always like doing social things, and we always skip out on like family gatherings because it's like too
Yeah.
much. And then like if we have too many family gatherings week after week, he needs to take a break, you know.
Hmm.
But he's very social in the way that like he always wants to do something, and he always wants to, but like just me and him, or like him and like one other person, like him and my brother, or him and his sister, like, it's just always just like one to one,
Yeah.
or like in a really tiny group. But like he likes going out to like breweries, and he likes to go out to eat, and he likes to talk a lot. And like the first thing he does when he gets home is check if I'm in a meeting, and then he'll start talking to me because he just needs to talk to someone.
Oh.
And yeah, like he just loves, like I think he got that from his parents. Like he just loves to talk, and he likes to like quote socialize, but not really socialize.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Yeah, but he likes to spend time with people. Like I don't think, as introverted as he is, I think he only scored like maybe, I know he's more extrovert than I am. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think everybody I know is more extrovert than I am, so it's not really saying much.
Yeah.
But he like I don't think he can be alone.
Yeah.
Like I think he would, like if I didn't exist, he would either find another girl to be with, or he would have like a roommate or something, or maybe he would move back with his mom or something. I don't know. Because he needs like
Yeah.
that constant interaction, but not like a lot of interaction, or not a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what that means to me, like an extroverted introvert.
Yeah. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, because I'm fine alone. I'm perfectly fine alone.
Yeah.
Like Brandon
Well.
thinks like I would just be fine after he dies, which I mean obviously is wrong, you know. Like I would obviously be devastated, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie and say that I probably would cope with it better than he would. Like I think our lives would be better off if he died first, because I
Yeah.
think I can cope with it better because I do well by myself.
Yeah. I can see that.
Does that make me sound terrible? Like I don't need
No.
people. I don't need anyone.
No, you just sound like a witch who lives in the woods by herself.
Which actually sounds great, you know?
Right?
She gets her own house. She's her own land. You know, she can
Yeah.
talk to the animals. She
Right?
can, yeah. If she wants to see people, she just looks into her crystal ball and like watches TV. Like, you know,
Exactly.
real reality TV.
Yeah. Real.
I don't know why witches get a bad rap.
Yeah, that's probably all the children eating.
Yeah.
They don't actually do that.
I do want to learn about witchcraft though. Like real, not real. Like you know how
Wicca?
people do like identify as a witch.
Yeah.
I do want to learn about that. Like I don't know, is
well,
that a religion?
I
What
have
is
a
that?
friend you could interview.
No way. No
Yes.
freaking way. Are you serious?
Yeah, she identifies as pagan, I think, and she takes it like seriously like a religion.
Is it a religion though? Like I don't know what
There
I feel like
are
I'm gonna offend
religious
her.
witches.
Okay.
There are religious witches, but there are also, you don't have to be religious to be a witch, and you don't have to be a witch to be religious in that sense.
Okay. Do you think she would get it on?
I
Like
could
if you were
ask
there
her.
too.
She's really introverted too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So
The introverted witch. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll ask her and see what
Okay.
she's up to.
That'd be awesome. But if we don't get her, if there's another introverted witch who's listening, let us know. Because I don't know anything about it, but it fascinates me. Because is it like, do they study witchcraft? Do they do spells? Like, what do spells mean? Like, are they like, magic like from like TV shows? Or are they like, putting energy into the universe and
Yeah, I think it's more of the energy one. I don't think they believe they have powers or anything, but it's more like manifestation and root work and chakras and, making sure that your mind, body, and soul is healthy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll talk to her for you.
Yeah, I have like a million questions. I'm gonna,
Okay.
yeah. But like I will try not to offend her. Or hopefully
Oh, of
like my
course.
questions aren't offensive. Like,
I don't think
but
she's easily offended.
okay. Because it's I think religion in general just fascinates me. Or like people's cultures and beliefs
Hmm.
and spiritual beliefs. Because there's so many different types of spiritual beliefs. Like I still don't even really know what my I mean, I guess I don't have to put a label on what my spirituality is, right? Like I'm just
Yeah.
used to that because I grew up Christian.
Same. Christian Catholic, and I I
Did you actually go to
didn't
church and
really.
like get baptized and stuff?
Yeah, it did first communion, went through the whole 9 yards, and
Did you
I
really?
yeah, I never really bought into it though. I was always very skeptical because I was raised to be skeptical of cons and people trying to trick you. Like my grandparents had this thing called con alert,
What?
where yeah, like if somebody was trying to trick you or something, they just say con alert, and you'd be like, oh, okay, this is a scheme, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I applied that to religion, I guess.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about you because you just don't give off those religious vibes.
No, I don't think I've been inside of a church in years.
Yeah. I want to do an episode on like purity culture and like growing up in the church and like my decision to like leave the church and stuff. But like I don't
Uh,
know anyone because I want to have a chat with someone who also left the church. But most of my friends never like knee deep into the church like I was, like my family is or was. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
my dad was really in, or still is really into church, and he would leave pamphlets under my pillow.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah. And we would go every Tuesday and Saturday night to church when my parents were still together.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Ask your friend. That would be a really great episode. I'm gonna try not to get my hopes up though, just in case she doesn't want to, because
all right. Well, I'll
I'm
ask her about it, and she can remain anonymous too.
yeah, she can make up her own name.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to use her real name.
Okay.
We could just call her the introvert witch,
Yeah.
the introverted witch, and just
Yeah.
call her. I was gonna say
So,
like IW, but that's like ew.
yeah.
So that wouldn't work. Okay. Anyways, back to dating.
Yeah.
All right.
So I
So
actually wanted to bring up
yeah.
that my friend from elementary school is working with a new social club type thing. It's
Okay.
called Lavette,
Love.
and
Can you spell
La
it?
Lavette social club.
Love it. Social. Okay.
You can look them up on Instagram. They haven't launched yet, but it says they're a social club to evolve your love life. And it
Oh.
looks pretty interesting to me so
Can
far
you
what they've
send
posted.
me that so that I can put in the description?
Yeah, I'll send you their link tree.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Love that social club. Okay, so what is it about? Sorry.
It's just like a they say they're a romance revival in intimacy, and they're exploring consciousness with intimacy, and also at the same time being like a social club where you can meet people.
So it's not
They're
just for romance, like you can also meet friends?
I'm not sure about that. I think
Okay.
it's very geared for romance.
Okay.
Let me open it in Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say like when do they launch? And is this like a local thing or
I don't think it's local because my friend who's working on it is in Arizona.
Okay.
And basically they just have a lot of topics that they cover, and like heartbreak and breakups
Okay.
and intimacy and stuff like that. And yeah, just check them out on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. And it looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Okay,
It's all
cool.
all inclusive and all sorts of stuff.
So this is your
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is your friend?
Yeah, she is part of Lovette. She's part of creating it, but I'm not really sure how much she has to do with it. I just know that she's plugged it a couple of times saying that she's working on it, and that it looks pretty interesting. Like they're talking about soulmates and finding your soulmate, things like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Like if I don't know how close you are to your friend, but whenever they start to launch and whenever they actually start doing whatever they're gonna do, I'm not really sure what this is, but when they start
I
like,
think yeah,
hmm,
I think it's like a, they say they're a social club, so I think it's more like a a group where you can meet people in that context.
okay.
So it looks pretty interesting to me, and that's why I wanted to mention it, because it's like, it's like one of those NOMO things. You don't really know what's going on, and I don't really have a reason to join them besides, discussion. They
Hmm.
say they're a community, so why not?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll link that in the description and then like I'll check them out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Maybe if your friend wants to get on the podcast. I don't have a lot of followers.
Oh, that's fine.
So, but she can if she wants to talk about it and like explain what they are and what they do, she can like just I guess show people to this episode specifically and be like, hey, if you want to know what you're about, check out this episode, and we can like ask her questions like what is it, what do you do, what's
Uh-huh.
the expectation, stuff like that, because that sounds pretty cool. Like to
Yeah.
just have a little social club about that.
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. I just hope people can, get something out of it.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll share the link tree so people can check that out. Oh, so many things on the internet, so many apps, so many social clubs. It's like,
So much to do, so little time.
yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, we've been talking for a while, but I don't want to end it and before asking you if you have any advice. Now that you went from single, frustrated with apps, hating apps, deleting them, getting back on apps, finally getting on Tinder, and finally finding someone. So, like, what's your advice for single introverts out there right now?
Definitely go at your own pace, but don't give up either. Like if you need to take a break, but don't totally forget about it and, go back into being in your own little introvert shell. It's really hard to break out of. So once you're out of it, I would say just keep going. It is a pain in the butt, and it is, not the most fun thing at times, but once it works out, it works out. It's like, it sucks until it doesn't, was what my brother says.
I like that.
So yeah, that's pretty much all the advice I can give, because that's all I got.
Well, thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. Thanks for the little advice. So,
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
yeah, I think taking a break is probably the best thing people can do too. Like,
Yeah, it's healthy. So you don't
yeah,
get obsessed with it or overly engaged with it.
yeah. And obviously it worked for you.
Yeah.
I think it helps people like because I'm sure from what you've told me and what like my single friends tell me. It's very frustrating. It's very exhausting. It's very, everything. And so taking
Yeah.
that break and then just getting back on the horse it's good. It's healthy.
Yeah, it's really great.
Well, thank you. Thank you for getting back on here. Thank you for doing another episode. So Mia,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
yeah, Mia is on other episodes. She didn't just do the introvert dating one. So if you enjoy this episode, we do have others with our friend Shannon. Did you do a solo one? Just the introvert dating one, right? And all the other ones were with Shannon?
Yeah, I think the other ones were with someone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So go check
Shannon.
those out. Those are pretty funny. Yeah. So we don't have many friends, Mia. Just a handful. But yeah, so go check those out. I'm also going to link Mia's art page. What's it called? Your Instagram page?
Art of Mia Russell.
Yeah. Art of Mia
And
Russell.
I have a Linktree link in my bio to my Facebook page, Instagram, and Redbubble, Etsy, so you can buy my artwork there. Etsy is more of photography. Redbubble is my drawings that go on hoodies, tapestries, wall art, coffee mugs, anything and everything you could want.
Yeah, and you got new stuff up, right?
Yeah, I just put new stuff up. I have 99 designs available.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's not even all of them.
Yeah.
I just haven't uploaded them yet. So there's always new stuff coming.
Cool. So yeah, go check those out. Go check out Mia's art pages and go help the starving artist and buy some art. Buy some local art. Oh, I guess it's not local for everybody, but buy some small artist art.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Mia. Thanks for getting on.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, really.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for making it to the end. If you enjoy what you hear and want to stay up to the day on the show, please follow me on Facebook and or on Instagram. You can also check out my website at thetalkativeintrovertpodcast.com. All the information will be on there as well as in the show notes. If you want to help support the show, please review and rate the podcast and share it with your friends and family. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode.